Thursday, April the 11th. And here we are, back outside, and it's actually starting to rain, but that's okay. My spirits are high. This weather is great. But we are inside the gym today, right? Because we have Threshold Thursday, and I really like this one. I know it's not fair for me to say that, but whereas Wednesday of this week, we did that EMOM. That is the clock and the clock alone being the reason you have to add intensity. So today, what we have, Thursday, Threshold Thursday, we have this sort of crossroads, this melding of format, of volume, and of movements, where they come together very well to lend themselves to sprinting, to Threshold Thursday type work, the stuff that we're used to. And the only piece missing is you. You have to add the intensity today, because in essence, this is 3 separate triplets, and you can take all day. All 3 of these are 4-time triplets. We're not gonna take 3 separate scores, but you can think of them that way. And sure, you could decide it's not a great day for you, and these triplets are all gonna take you 10 plus minutes, and you're gonna sleepwalk through them. That would be moving for the sake of movement. Today, what we want, and what these movements and the volume of them is supposed to be encouraging, is speed. Because what do we have? We have wall balls, always thrown in when we expect high volumes. We have double unders. Again, this is something we throw in sometimes as a monostructural movement in place of running or rowing or biking or skiing. We have a single dumbbell movement, and it is a higher volume of that single dumbbell movement, but it is one where we expect you to choose a loading where you can rip off big sets at a time. In fact, you know, our heaviest dumbbell is 70. No one's gonna use that today, which means that no one's gonna use any heavier than 50 pounds for this single dumbbell movement. And that's, compare that to any other weightlifting movement we do, that is a low load that is meant to be moved fast. So I'll get back to that in a second. Absolutely mind the order of things today. The order of things is laid out on purpose the way that it is. So in the first triplet, you do double unders before you do wall balls, and in the last triplet, you switch those two. You do the wall balls first. There's a reason for that. So one of the things that today accomplishes is, like, I don't know, are there people who save themselves for Friday, who go like, I really want to put up a big clean and jerk number on Friday, so I gotta make sure I'm not doing or going all out on Thursday? Well, if you are someone who does that, just know that this is about as full body a workout as you can possibly get. This is equal opportunity. This is not only squatting, it's also overhead. It's not only hinging, it's also pulling and pushing. It's all in here. It's all in here today. There's a monostructural movement, there's a weightlifting movement, there's a skill endeavor with the jump rope. So it's all there. And what we want is for you to, as always with a Thursday, modify everything down so that you could sprint the thing. All right, so let's break it down by movement. First triplet, each one of them starts with a 500-meter row. We have to consider a low volume row for purposes of this workout. That should take really like 2 minutes, 2:15, 2:30, no more than 2:30. And then you have double unders, right? And that's called 100 single unders, but 50 double unders. And this workout it's for you guys who are good at double unders. It's to see, like, are you though? Like, what happens when you get fatigued in the same muscle groups that you're gonna need for those double unders? So the first round kind of lulls you into being like, I'm fine. All I did was row. I can double under now. And then we'll see how it goes in rounds 2 and 3. So after your double unders, you jump on the wall balls. And you know, nobody's expecting 50 unbroken wall balls. I know we have some athletes who can do that. And by all means, if you are that athlete that I'm talking to, go and try to do 50 wall balls unbroken. I think you probably can. For me today, it was 30 and 20. I was doing a little bit of self-preservation, but I think it worked out. And then you take a 2-minute rest. So the 2-minute rest is pretty key today, right? We need to try to maintain some semblance of recovery between triplets. Round 2, again, we start off on a row, right? So it's row, but this time when you get off the row, you're doing that single arm dumbbell push press. And the intent here is to go is to do equal work on both sides, but where I'm not going to tell you how to break that up. So you break it up as needed. I did sets of 10. In fact, what I think you should think about when you load today's dumbbell is that you're able to pick up or do 10 push presses each time. Now, you know, this is for the coaches mostly, but we're gonna see some imbalances today, and we need to make sure that these are push presses, not push jerks. And if they need to be push jerks, then that probably means it's too heavy. We also need to try to see some semblance of evenness, not just from a volume standpoint, but like, I want it to look the same on your left as it looks on the right. And if it doesn't, I'd like to start assessing why that might be. Super straight arms. Do not bring the dumbbell down until you have fully locked out everything at the same time. And then the last movement, and once again, is double unders. So this time, double under fiends. Let's see how they feel after those 100 push presses with a single arm dumbbell. I'm curious. Are you able to maintain the same level of intensity on the double unders? Are you able to maintain the same level of persistence on the double unders? Can you go unbroken for 50 if you did in the first? And then the last triplet, you know, we rest 2 minutes again. The last triplet is the same as the first one, except we reverse the order of the wall balls and the double unders. And I really just want to see how that goes. Like, again, I want to see, okay, you did 50 double unders for me, or 50 wall balls. For me, that was 30-20. And then you have to do double unders. And those are very competing movements. I need shoulders for both of those. I need legs for both of those. Will the 50 double unders or the 50 wall balls take away from your double unders at all? I don't know. This is what it looked like for me. That bottom part it's basically a sandwich WOD. The second triplet is going to take longest. My two other ones were 451 and 458. Those were my wall ball double under segments. So the middle segment took me exactly 7 minutes. Overall, my time was 20:49. I enjoyed it. All right, guys, have fun.